Okay, welcome back. Tuesday was one of those days that didn't exist for me. Wednesday, May 20th here, getaway day in the major leagues. We missed yesterday because I was manning the polls, primary election day here in Pennsylvania. Oh, good Lord. I mean, I got no one to blame but myself because, I volunteered for this stuff. But, just little mini dramas. It just, people, and I'm as much to blame as anybody, people want it their way. And sometimes they have a hard and fast view of what their way, which is in their mind the right way, is the way things need to be. And I was guilty of that at least twice yesterday, getting in arguments for no reason. I'm right, of course, but, see, everybody thinks that, Now, I am right, but that's neither here nor there as far as getting in arguments. And it's, it takes it out of you, arguing with people. It just takes it out of you. I mean, it really, I don't know. I guess some people love that stuff, just love it. And, I guess those are the people like Donald Trump who, live forever. And for, I think, normal people, it just wears you out. So I'm beat up, worn out today. My back is killing me. It's a long day, and I'm not exactly in marathoning shape at the moment. So, and I missed all day of baseball, which I guess considering what happened Monday, was probably for the best. We probably just saved ourselves some losers. Monday was another disaster. And I can't even, I don't know, I think I'm going to have to re-examine this Jason angle, because that cost us dearly Monday. That it seems to make sense in that, the dude always seems to have good pitchers, but maybe, I don't know, I got to think about it. But, yeah, we were like down, 3.5 units on Monday for the season, minus 747. 747 coming out of the sky, crashing right down here on the floor of the barn. Splat. But let's get some, the model has some decent angles here today, and it's like, God damn, some of these have to come in. I feel okay about some of these games. And I'll say that too about this minus, that's a minus. There should be a big old minus there. Don't get confused. I suck. I'm not good right now. Right now, there, minus. The games I felt best about, I think our record's much better than that. We have won some of these games where I say, I feel good about this, I feel good about that. Why are you picking them all, you say? Well, just as an academic exercise. And to give you something to watch, because, if your team's not one of the teams I want to bet on, I don't care about the damn Brewers. I don't want to play them. What about the Reds? I know like half our subscribers are Reds fans, which probably makes up their entire fan base, I would imagine. But speaking of which, let's lead off with that game. That's called a segue. Segue. Leading off the card today, we got 6 games today in the afternoon, as these teams are probably either traveling or off tomorrow. So, we're going to probably play the same angle in all of them. Generally speaking, on a getaway day, you're looking either for the favorite, the home team, or better yet, if the home team is favored, then you're really looking for that. And that's what we have here. We're not wild about this game because the price is crazy wrong. You just laying this kind of wood with Aaron Nola. We're probably gonna regret this, but Abbott for the Reds he was on, I believe, an all-star last year, and I'm not sure when he's thrown his last good game. But Aaron Nola's awful. So I don't know. I think sometimes you just have to go with generalities. And generally speaking, this is a good spot for the home team. That Aaron Nola will somehow, there's no reason in the world Aaron Nola can't be an average pitcher. He's got good enough stuff that he can get people out without getting murdered. He can't throw 7-8 innings of shutout baseball anymore. What he can do, perhaps, he should be able to do. He hasn't managed to do it yet, but I just can't believe his damn career is over at age 33 or 34 or whatever he is. He's too good for that. It's like, damn, dude, just give me 6 innings, give up 2 or 3 runs. I don't need you to be perfect, but I do need you to not get me killed and keep me in the game. And we're going to say it happens today. I think Schwarber, that number gives me the idea Schwarber's playing. He was red hot, and I'm a little nervous now. This dude hasn't played in a couple games, and I'm afraid he might have fallen out of the groove. But, like I said, I don't love that game, but if I had to pick a side, I'd pick the Phillies. Tampa, well, they just keep going. They just keep going and going and going. I thought Baltimore might have, I missed that on Monday, saying Baltimore was going to somehow bounce off that win Sunday. They didn't. They continue to lose. Tampa continues to win. Tampa has a significant home field advantage. We don't like Baz for the Orioles. We think this is a pretty strong one. Just go ahead and take Tampa. Houston, Minnesota, that was about the only good thing that happened Monday was we actually got our Astro game right, and we felt pretty strongly about it, and we did get that game. Burrows versus Ryan. Gotta like Minnesota here. Yeah, I think they're similar teams, except we really don't like the Astros, and Minnesota, the home favorite in the getaway day, so we like them pretty strongly. This is a game, not sure what to make of it, but we're going to take Colorado in an afternoon game. They're coming off a 10-0 shellacking last night, but Kyle Freeland, he's one of those guys that makes you money. To look at him, you say, this guy's terrible. I wouldn't take this guy. I would bet $1, and I don't know this for a fact, but I'm almost certain. This guy's a free agent in our fantasy league. Nobody wants this guy. But that's not how we look at pitchers when we bet. What we want to know is, does this guy win more often than the market expects him to? And the market expects this guy to never win. Well, he does win occasionally. That gives you value. And that's what we're looking at here. Jack Leiter, that's one of those guys that he's supposed to be the next great pitcher, and he just hasn't been such as of now. He might at some point, but he hasn't been yet. So he's always overvalued. Overvalued versus undervalued. We'll take undervalued every time. Another team I'm struggling with, these goddamn Giants. I cannot get these guys right to save my life. I think one of the problems is that somewhere in the back of my head, I think that team's good, and they have shown to be anything but. And so we keep losing. But we're going to fade them now. Now watch them come up with a big effort. But we do, again, the home favorite angle and getaway day, and we think we're feeling pretty strongly there. Merrill Kelly for the Diamondbacks. He's, the kind of pitcher we want to play. He's not going to, what's he top out at? 92, 93 miles an hour. And I mentioned that Ranger pitched last night and won. Well, his team won. Ranger, I don't know, I guess he's got an injury of some type or something, because they won't let him go more than 80 pitches. He throws 4 innings, gives up no runs, and then they yank him. He's going to be the best 4-inning pitcher in the history of baseball. Back to this. We got White Sox, Seattle. And you're saying, why are these games totally out of order? Well, because I didn't feel like rewriting all the names, erasing them, then rewriting all the names in order. Saves me 10, 15 minutes. Sorry about that. White Sox, Stromberg, Emerson, Hancock. Same deal. That's not a hateful price for the Mariners, 138. They're what? They were 1 game away from the World Series last year. I'm pretty sure I'm right about that. And it's not a terrible team. They just haven't put it together yet. And Cal Raleigh, who was their biggest offensive producer last year, has been a big old zero this year, and now he's on the disabled list. So they're not really that team yet, but they have been that team. Whereas the White Sox are most recently a terrible team. At some point, the White Sox are going to go backwards. And we need to just pay attention to when that is. Probably won't be for another month or so. They're even getting a guy back that's a good player, that Kyle Teal. He was doing business in the World Baseball Classic, and then he got injured. But he's going to come back and bolster these guys. But at some point, I think what will happen is they'll take some injuries. They won't have the depth to replace the guys, and that team will go backwards. But it's not going to be yet. But we are going to fade them today based on generalities. All right, night card. Atlanta, Miami, where are we at here? Big number here for Atlanta. And we're just going to jump right on it, just like the square that we are. That's Chris Sale. It's a huge number, but Atlanta has a premium team right now. And we just think they're so much better than Miami. And I think what puts it over the top for us is that Atlanta historically just owns Miami. All those years that Atlanta's been good, and Miami's generally been shit. It pretty much for the last 20 years. When was the last good Miami team? I guess 03, when they won the World Series. So we're talking about 20 years of baseball. Atlanta has, I'm certain, a significantly winning record for that era. And Miami has a significantly losing record. Good franchise, bad franchise. Good pitcher versus Jansen junk. We actually kind of like Jansen junk just because he throws junk, and that's the kind of guy that we love. But we're going to say Atlanta here. Another team that's killing me are the damn Tigers. So let's do it again with them. We have to, don't we? We just have to. Just to lose more on somebody. These guys are just burying us because we keep saying they're not that bad. And they are that bad, I guess. Cleveland on the verge of sweeping these guys. Now this is a game, you got the movable, what do you call it? Immovable force versus the irresistible object. Tanner Beebe is a good pitcher as far as value goes. But he's lost the last 9 times he's gone out there. He's gotten beaten. And he's still a good value pitcher. That's how much this guy won at one point. and now he's regressing to the mean somewhat. But he owns the Tigers. He never loses to the Tigers. He's beaten them like 8, 9 times in a row on the other side. So always beats the Tigers, but has lost 8, 9 times coming into this game. So something's going to be give here. We're going to say he's going to keep losing. That somehow the Tigers, they're throwing a bullpen game. We like bullpen games. That somewhere the Tigers, they really kind of sort of need this game. The Indians are starting to get away a little bit. We'll go ahead, and I don't love this game, but I pick it. So this one I do like. I do like Washington here. Washington scores runs. They scored a bunch of runs on Monday and lost by that much just because they couldn't push a run across in extras. It ended up getting beaten extras. In my mind, you lose an extra innings, it was a close game. What often happens is the road team will come up with a big, stupid number in the top half of their inning. And I do not know why home teams play it this way. I guess they're just like, it's a long season, let's just get this damn game over with one way or the other. And they play so aggressively when they're on defense, and it almost always blows up in their face. You know, what do you mean? Well, example, they get the guy to third base with 1 out. Almost invariably, the team in the field will bring their infield in. It's like, what are you doing? You know, play conservatively there. Because, of course, they'll hit a ground ball. It'll go right through the damn infield. Then they'll try to throw the guy, you know, or let's say he's on second. They didn't advance the guy. They hit a ball into the outfield, ground ball, and they try to throw the guy out at the plate. Airmail the cutoff man. Now the other guy's on second with no outs. And then he's going to score. Now you're down 2. Now you have no chance. So they play so aggressively, and often then you end up with a big inning by the visiting team, and it looks like it was a blowout. Well, it wasn't. It was a very close game, and then it just got away from the home team in extras. And that's kind of what happened Monday night. Now, last night, Washington just beat them up, just outscored them 9-6. And that's kind of what we're feeling today. You know, the Mets are pitching a total rookie, first start ever, against a good offensive team. Whoa, look out, good luck. And then Washington has a guy who everybody looks at and goes, holy shit, this is a bad guy. Zach Littell. Well, go figure, he hasn't been that bad in the past few outings. And he's another guy. He's been around. He's in the shank of his career right now at 30. There's no reason for this guy to be terrible. He's a veteran pitcher. We're going to assume he's healthy because he's taking the ball every 5th day. And he should be able to be average. And that's all I need today. I just need you to be average because I think my team's going to beat the hell out of the Mets. So I think Zach Littell will be average and he will take them through. I've been thinking about, I'm sorry. Yeah, that's the game we're on. We're on this Toronto Yankee game. I misspoke, or I did not realize that the man Cam Schlittler, that's his, Schlittler. That's, I don't know. That makes me think, I better not even go there. Let's not go there. Let's just talk baseball. But Schlittler versus Yasavage. Yasavage from Boyertown. Yasavage from Boyertown. We're going to go with Schlittler because we're fading Toronto all season. somewhat successfully. It's one of the only things that's been going well for us. The Yankees are, Ben Rice is starting to hit again. I think that Volpe coming out of the minors has given them a little bit of a boost. The Yankees play well at home. Yeah, all things pointing to Schlittler. Brewers, Cubs. Brewers, Cubs. Brewers, Brewers, Brewers. We don't like Edward Cabrera. Walks way too many guys. The Brewers are a better team than the Cubs. What makes you say that? Well, they beat them in the playoffs last year. That happened. They just swept them here these first 2 games in Chicago. They're just better. Until the Cubs just get better. I don't know what they got to do to get better, but they're not as good as the Brewers. And we're getting money. We're getting plus money. I don't know. I think that's a no-brainer there. Connolly Early versus Michael Wacha. I kind of think we found something here with the Red Sox. And you watched it happen. I found it as I was standing here. You know, sometimes that happens. You just have an epiphany. And you say, I think it's going to rain today. Or, I think I want a beer. Well, it's not really an epiphany. The epiphany we had was we think the Red Sox are about to start playing better because we're blaming it on Trevor Story, who I'm sure is a hell of a great guy, nice to his mother, but we're blaming it on that guy. And so far we've been semi-right. You know, they won on Monday. They won 7-1 yesterday, and we're going to say they go ahead and finish the sweep today. The Royals are not playing well, so we got that going for us. I told you this was going to be a thing, and it is a thing. I'm going to spare you the visual of me taking my shirt off and going like that. But right now, the Cardinals have something going on at home where just anybody, all the dudes get together in the right field and start going, ho, 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 you know, while they're waving their shirts like an English soccer crowd, and it's working. The Cardinals are on a roll. Why would we get off them now? We wouldn't. Mike McGreevy over Harmon Majinski. And that's one where I've seen some Majinski this year because he's on my team. Walks a bunch of guys. But, you know, that just feels like recipe for disaster. You know, what does the English soccer crowd want? Base runners. You know, they want some action. They want some, and a pitcher trying to hold down a running game with guys all over the base pass and people screaming at him, he might, you know, that could get out of control. So we'll take the Cardinals there. This is one of these where I just think you got to go. That is so wrong, it has to be right. It's so wrong, somebody has to know something. And we're going to bet on that. Somebody must know something. Because this number is just stupid wrong. There's no way the Dodgers should be that kind of a favorite. Minus 182. I mean, come on. Against one of the best teams in baseball in Padres. And we're laying 182 on the road? Well, I guess that everybody's saying Ohtani has been that good. And he's going to be that good tonight. Because he'll have to be that good tonight to get over that kind of a hurdle. All right, I'm gullible. I'll believe it, sure. I'll lay the 182. Why not? We do like these kind of road favorites within a division. You know, that's your big brother, little brother. I told you when you have one of those interleague things, you're looking at little brother to stick it to big brother, where that's often little brother's season. You know, hey, I get to play if I'm the Cubs and the White Sox go, wow, wouldn't it be great? I mean, I know it's a long season and I'm not going to win, but if I beat the Cubs a couple games, boy, we would feel so much better about ourselves. These are where Big Brother shines. When Atlanta goes to Miami, or say the Dodgers go to San Diego, you know, Big Brother usually gets those kind of games. And we're going to say Big Brother's getting that one. And then last, and the least. Angels Athletics, I have yet to get any of those games right. The A's broke out last night and had a big offensive game. I guess we're going to say that'll happen again. I've yet to be right about these games, so I've yet to dial that one in. But we'll say the A's again are going to, yeah, the Angels are terrible. I just can't bring myself to, I struggle to say Angels because they're such a bad team. Thank God it's supposed to rain later today. This midsummer heat here in May is too much. Too much, too soon. Good, great. Let's watch some baseball and root for our bets. Tail me, fade me, I don't care. Free picks for you. What more could you want? We'll talk again probably tomorrow. I don't know why I can't do a video tomorrow. So we'll talk again tomorrow. Thanks for being here.